And was there something that kind of prompted you to start this program?
Yeah, I was feeling really stressed out and like out of control. I know that in the pandemic, like everything kind of reached like 11. But I already, suffered from stress and anxiety and like letting things build up and taking on too much and then like having no outlet and not knowing how to just like bring my mind down. Like I would just like let things pile up until I felt like I was going to explode. And there was just like no like relief for me. I just like I was just completely out of control.
How did the program kind of run? What did you guys do and like how did it go?
So every time there was like a homework based on the exercises that we did, we'd do different breathing exercises and we'd run through, a lot of what helped me a lot was negative thoughts, exercises to like recognize when you're starting down a path of like either stress or having negative thoughts or, thinking just all around negatively or and getting overwhelmed and starting to get worked up. It was all really starting off just like recognizing your triggers and like when like recognizing how your body would feel when you were starting to get to the point where you were feeling stressed and like kind of just like cutting it off before you let yourself get to that point and being able to just like rein yourself back in, recognize that like either you were having negative thoughts or you're running away with something that isn't actually true.
What do you think would you say was your favorite part of the program?
I really felt like the program let me give myself a lot of like grace. I've always been very hard on myself and like no feeling like no matter what I do, it's never enough. And even if I spent the whole day playing on the floor with my daughter, that like, I did one terrible thing or one, I didn't let her have a cookie and then she screamed and had a horrible tantrum. Specifically, I was going through potty training while I was doing this program. And it for sure like made the whole experience so much easier for me. Like while I was sitting on the potty for an hour with her, I'd do breathing exercises and she started doing them too, just because she saw me doing them. But I really think that it just like made me recognize like how tough I was being on myself and just really give myself like a little credit for all the things that I do throughout the day. And also recognizing that like things that you don't think about that you did are like real things and you should give yourself credit for those things even if it's washing a sink full of dishes that needs to be done, but like that's something you did.
And
And
before you started the program, you obviously said you were really stressed out. Was there anything that you were nervous about before you started it?
I was a little apprehensive of like doing it in a group setting. Like I knew that it was going to be confidential and but it still felt like weird talking about like personal, stress triggers and things that were going on with my life with these strangers. But it really turned out to be like a bonding experience and it was really validating, seeing that there are other people who are having the same kinds of negative thoughts and negative feelings and just like trying to get through the day doing the best we can. Like it really made me feel like I wasn't so isolated. Like other people do get what I'm going through. Like in the times of social media, everybody's just like painting this very rosy picture of their lives and like it's not real and you just like don't get to see real people anymore. And this just like I felt like okay, these are real people who are going through the same or different things that I'm going through. And like, this is a valid way to feel. It's valid. And that for me was just, like I always was like, oh, like there's no reason for you to be so stressed out. Everybody else has it worse, or somebody has it worse than you. But like, it's okay to feel stressed in your own like level.
And what's your day to day kind of like now? I know you said you used to wake up at 6 and then start work
So
and whatever, and then go to bed at 7 or like crash at 7. How is it different now after the program?
So I was never an exerciser. I've always hated exercising, but I've started working out and I've started eating better. I just felt like once I wasn't so stressed out about everything all the time, I just like didn't make a pot of pasta and load it with sauce and cheese for dinner, which like there's nothing wrong with that. But I was actually able to like plan for myself, like to eat well and I started to feel better, and I started drinking more water, and then I started exercising, and then I bought a Peloton, and I just like I've been able to start like taking care of myself where I guess I didn't feel like before I deserved that self-care. And now I get up every morning and I get on my Peloton, and if that means that my husband has to get up with my daughter.
Lastly, is there anything you just want to add about the program or about just how it changed your life? And
And I realized like how in a certain situation I would have been like only focusing on like the bad things, the things that weren't working out, the things that, weren't as wonderful as I anticipated they were going to be, and like just appreciating the small things that did work out, that I had time to go to my favorite coffee shop and pick up a coffee, and that I had 5 minutes to like sit on the front porch by myself and just, like be alone. And I it's made my relationship with my husband much better. It's made my relationship with my daughter much better. And like I just feel more comfortable daily. Like I just go through the day and I don't let myself get that worked up. And sometimes it happens and you have a really bad day, and but then I know I have tools now to like bring myself down, calm my mind, like regroup, refocus. And also like I just recognize now like I need 5 minutes alone. Like I'm just at a point where like, enough things have happened today. I need 5 minutes alone to just like do some breathing, or have a cup of coffee alone, or whatever it is. And I can recognize that I need that, and that I'm allowed to take that, and that I should. And that it's better for everybody if I am my best self.